Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we all doing today? In this, yes, another one of those, sorry, I'm just, there we go. Right, better. What's going on with this thing, man? Jeez. Alright, cool. Sorted. I got this new camera thing for when I go away. Oh, the music's a bit loud. Music's a little bit loud. There we go, that's better. I got this new camera thing. It's got this gimbal on it, but it's not locking properly. It's cool. Have I broken it already? There we go. Now it's locked. Okay, let me put this away. Sorted. Right. Good. Welcome. Who do we have in the house today? We got BG. I went long. Up 12% on ETH and 8.8% on BTC. Nice. Okay. Looking for 37 and on BTC. Don't know what that means. But anyway, welcome. Yeah, good. Yeah, nice. Some nice setups. One of those where the market's just looking a little bit shaky again today. Having had a bit more of a move down than maybe you would have liked to have seen for like having big confidence in this, but yeah, I mean, I quite like it where we are now at the daily level, giving some opportunities here. I've not really added any kind of positions or anything over the past day or two, so just sitting with what I have now, allowing this chop to play out. We knew the ETF thing was likely to cause some kind of volatility and shakiness. But yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Jambi, welcome. Lucifer, April 2021 vibes all over again. What happened in April 2021? No. No. Not April 2021 vibes all over again. But yeah. Mitko, welcome. Blue Raincoat, good morning. Where my free trial access? Yes, I saw that on Twitter. So, hey, maybe. You called a couple of good trades recently. That WLD short was very, very nice. So, yeah, well done. Who else have we got in here? Lucifer, is it for the OnlyFans page now that we're in a bear market? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, no, it's weird. It's like this should like properly lock, but it's not quite properly locking. Sorry, I'm distracted again. Distracted by it. Ebermark, April's White, welcome. Yes, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. How many likes and viewers do we have? It has been very quiet recently on these streams. So, on the plus side, it means not too many people getting wrecked. On the bad side, it means people already been wrecked. think Elon fugged up short term with the Trump endorsement. IT people with money. I don't. The thing is, every time that there's like, I don't see that as being a problem, really. I think it's just technicals, right? It's just technicals. Elon knows what he's doing. Yeah. He knows what he's doing. He adds fuel to the fire, and that's what I love about him. Because like when the stock's dumping, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna just be even more ridiculously insane to give the people that aren't scared an even better entry. So it's like when it was at the lows in 2023, I mean, he adds to his own FUD, which is just brilliant. Like, there's not really any other CEOs out there that are just like, oh yeah, our stock's dumping, I'm gonna make things worse, just until it gets to the point in which it becomes a really nice opportunity. So I'm cool with this. Like, that's the box we drew on Tesla yesterday, and that's where we are today. So we're having a back test of this after a bit of a breakout. Nice levels. So Tesla actually looks really, really good. Nvidia as well. If we do start off here on the legacy markets, Nvidia's hit the buy zone after the top signal that we had after it became the world's most valuable company, marking a very good local top, and then seeing a nice correction afterwards. So yeah, it's all looking. I mean, yes, there's been a big move down from the Nasdaq. So yesterday being the biggest single daily loss on the NQ and the ES that there has been in 2 years. And this 4-hour candle is going to close green. You look at that 4-hour candle is going to close green. It's gone beyond like levels that we were looking at. So when we had this drop yesterday, I was looking at it finding support around here. I was not expecting it to come through to the next level straight away, but it has. So decent move down on NQ. When we were talking about the Nasdaq yesterday, we were expecting lows to be taken, those previous week lows to be taken. And that is what we have now seen. But it's gone a lot further than you would have expected. Now, actually, I know Bitcoin, Ethereum have had a bit of a dump. But when you look at what the legacy markets are doing, it's actually really quite like the resilience from them is pretty good so far. I'm going to remove these. These are just levels I drew on yesterday. Yeah, we'll see how things go. I do like where the legacy markets are ending up here, more so than crypto. Crypto's just a bit of a like, is this just a drop or is this a sign of weakness and we're then going to be looking at 62k? Still a little bit 50-50 on that. I'm not entirely sure. And of course, Ethereum coming down to that 0.05 level that we had spoken about many times. But again, is it looking like weakness, or are we at support and looking at a good opportunity again here? So hopefully throughout this stream, we will be able to figure that out. Elon should not be allowed to choose the kids' names. Definitely not. Elon is a capitulation seeker. Yes. Yeah, I really am quite interested in Tesla here. Adding back in. Of course, I didn't get the best buy on this. I was buying it around about 180. As long as we're staying above there, that's okay. I mean, realistically, it could go back and test 180 again, and then I'm like, but the thing is, it's just buying the stock, so It's not like I can really lose out. All you lose is a bit of time. Like if it goes a bit lower, it's going to be going higher eventually, yeah. It's a stock, so of course it will. Nice little bounce from BTC. Okay, is there anything else that we want to discuss just before we get started with the goodies? Yeah, altcoins we can check in a bit. Bitcoin dominance is not doing anything. Do you use anchored VWAP for momentum? Yes. Yes. So this is what we're looking at. BTC macro pattern is a Chinese trumpet. It's a whopper and very, very rare. You mean, are you talking about this whole cycle pattern, this? So you've got that one, right? That's the only way I could interpret what you're saying. From all-time high till now. But we're not expanding. How can it be a... By that you mean this, right? That's what I consider to be the trumpet. But we're not expanding. So how can it be? I'm not sure. I mean, it's just like... You can kind of draw whatever you want, but it's a bit of a channel, right? It's that. Huh? Why is it Chinese? I don't know why it's Chinese. I don't know. But as far as I can see, there's a channel. Yeah. Slightly sloping down, which you would say is just a big ass bull flag. The biggest of the big ass bull flags that you've ever seen in your life, basically. That's all I see. And look, even the top that we had locally here, that's kind of the only like non-horizontal pattern that I see on BTC. But everyone has different eyes. But I certainly do not see. I mean, it can't be a trumpet because we are not expanding. It's just fact. These new touches up here. I mean, if it comes up here and goes and does that, then maybe. Anyways, I don't know if I'm going to record. Yeah, no, I do need to record a Bitcoin update. But for me, it's still just kind of like, we're just stuck in the middle of this range. Just stuck here forever. We're doomed to be in this range for all eternity. And I just cannot be bothered with it. Very boring. But yeah, I will do an update because we do have a possibility of lower now after seeing the little bit of weakness. So let's go with that. Now we can't copy and paste yesterday's video because there has actually been some kind of change. And the move up yesterday for a short opportunity was a really good one. I know Delirium caught that. So hats off to Delirium, one of our guys, one of our analysts in the crew. Right. Okay, yeah. Right, I'm going to turn off the music. We got some stuff that we can discuss. I hate it when all these levels show up on the chart when it's like higher time frames. But I just do not like going to like different folders and all of that bullshit. It's pointless. Just want to keep it all on one screen, ideally, but keep it clean, but all on one screen. Cool. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's video, Thursday, the 25th of July, 2024. Here's your Bitcoin update for today. So a little bit of a move down over the past couple of days, which has been generally the case for just about any market you could possibly look at right now. Of course, we had the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 seeing their biggest single day losses in over 2 years yesterday. A lot of that coming from Tesla, and a lot of that coming from Apple, and a lot of that coming from Nvidia. So we've seen big drops down on both Tesla, on Apple, on Nvidia, and I think even on the likes of Microsoft as well. So some large moves down, but everything coming into what I would consider as really, really good high time frame support levels. So if you're looking for a bit of an answer as to why there may have been a drop, yes, we've had the ETF, the ETH ETF catalyst, which has created some more attention within crypto. Not necessarily like a bullish or bearish signal, but it's created more attention, therefore more people that are going to get positioned, and therefore we see a bit more volatility starting to pick up because of that. The move down itself has just been correlated with the wider markets, with the dollar moving up and stocks moving down, but just as a bit of a correction. Now, actually, when you do consider that the legacy markets had their most bearish day for like since COVID, essentially, or since the last bear market, their most bearish day since the last bear market yesterday, actually Bitcoin's been holding up relatively well here, but it is a bit of there is a bit of weakness certainly that we have seen this morning over the Asia session, but once again is coming down into some kind of support area here. So it's a little bit just caught up between, is this weakness and are we going to be looking for lower? Or are we simply just going to get a bounce from this level and we're looking at once again another deviation from a local range before we see the continuation of this trend? The trend is still, it's an uptrend, but we have now lost what I would have considered the parabolic move, which is where we were previously. Okay, we're still very, very much fine with the overall trend here. But where we look for this later parabolic move, we know that we did lose that a couple of days ago. We spoke about this yesterday. And we were looking for more of a consolidation here to start to play out because clearly the momentum upwards had gone at that stage. And yeah, getting a bit of a move down that's come back down into some good levels. So untapped daily level here. First of all, this was something that we had marked on our chart. It is important. It's nice. We generally good levels to take trades off of, these high time frame levels that have been untested. What we also had down there, I'll show you just a moment, in the TPO, is there was a NPOC, naked time point of control, down here that has been tested today, and also what it has done, same as we continue to repeat throughout the majority of this range, is corrected an imbalance that was created during an impulse. All right, so you have impulse higher, this being what I would consider to be the breakaway. All right, so I don't particularly want to be seeing price gaining any acceptance back inside here, because we should be broken away from that at this stage. However, anything that is part of a trend is fair game for price to come back in and rebalance itself before continuing on with that trend afterwards. So if we're looking at where this is now, you had the breakout here, a bit of a M pattern top type of thing, coming back down into an area of support, and therefore we could be seeing that continuation higher. However, at this stage, if we are going to continue the local downtrend, the next level lower for myself is 62k. So 62k, this shaded zone has been on my chart since we broke up from here, and that still is a major target for anything lower if we are to get that. Once again, we can see there's a daily gap down there. We can see that it's the anchored VWAP from this low. And it also does this kind of thing where you have just the standard, right? You have a bit of a, like, 3 waves moving up. You come back down, you take out some lows, you reconsolidate just beneath some previous lows, and then you see some continuation higher. Okay, the only way that I would get bearish on this, once again, is if we do get acceptance back within this range here, this lower range. Okay, so if we draw that from essentially where we came into that range to where we broke out of it, if we are to gain any acceptance back inside that value area, I would become like macro bearish again and expecting much lower prices. But until then, everything's looking a-okay, and a lot of altcoins looking good with these July lows. Now, what else is there? When we look at, again, the range as a whole, yesterday did give some quite nice opportunities. So let me zoom out and then let me zoom back in again. Okay, the bounce that we had yesterday, where this was just after the New York Open, or just before the New York Open. No, just after the New York Open. We did get a decent move up. All right, from Bitcoin. Let me go back and zoom out again. I need this fixed range to work because this is showing it. There we go. All right, we had that little bit of consolidation on Tuesday. Then yesterday, of course, around about that New York Open, getting that move up. But there was confluence there with the range points of control, 67k. Once again, we were looking for the move up to 67k yesterday. When things were down here, that was the target that we had given in yesterday's video. It had the move up to 67k, and where there was some confluence there with that weekly VWAP, having seen the week so far quite clearly. Okay, you come up, you sweep previous week highs, and then you're just making lower high after lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're seeing a very similar continuation of what we saw early on in the month, where the trend for the week has been down. Okay, therefore the VWAP is likely going to act as resistance, because that is simply just following the trend here. So at this stage, you're looking at this, we're likely to get a red week. Okay, we've only got another day or two left of this week. Any test back into VWAP again would be another short opportunity, and then you'd be looking for lower, but the VWAP's quite far away right now. Then we go into the kind of plan for next week, where again we're going to be seeing the end of the month at that stage, and then this monthly level will likely be coming into play towards the end of next week, because we do have August starting next Thursday. This will be once FOMC next week has happened, and I think that we can be looking at that coming back into play again as we go into towards the end of the month. Now, from I've covered the support that is below. All right, so 62k. We've covered the reasons for this dropping. This support is okay. It's not something that I'm acting on. Like if I'm going to compound, I'm going to wait for a little bit lower, but I'm not looking to short this yet either. So yeah, that's kind of where we are with this one. Moving on to, I mean, we can have a little look at the ETFs from yesterday because they're now a big topic, a hot topic once again. So ETFs inflows yesterday. Yeah, a little bit. And then ETH ETFs, we had quite clearly some outflows yesterday, but very, very similar to what we saw when the BTC ETF launched. A lot of interest in it, okay? But just you have the grayscale stuff, all right? The selling that's coming from over there, which is the same as what we had on Bitcoin when those ETFs started. So it's just a matter of like wait for those outflows to settle, and then as long as the demand is still there, then I think we do see pretty decent price action from Ethereum, and then therefore from the rest of the market as we go on later in the summer. Looking on Agra here, if we just go to this, I mean, a lot of spot selling. So this was, again, something that we did touch upon in yesterday's video, right? We weren't seeing that there was really like, okay, so spot had led the move higher. Okay, you had that divergence from spot and perps. Then perps kind of played catch up, made some new highs, and then it's spot that's leading the move down. So once again, what you'd like to see here is when these divergences start to occur, all right, that's where the momentum is. As soon as it slows down and they're like, let's say on this occasion, perps play catch up, you put in a bit of a distribution, spot runs price lower, okay? If perps start to play catch up, you put in a new accumulation, even things out, and then we're likely to see a reversal again. So when you get these divergences, there are things to pay attention to, and we are certainly seeing one here where spot is trading quite significantly lower than Bitcoin once again, which would mean that we still have, oh my God, my whole screen just went crazy, that we still have, of course, a very significant spot premium, and that means that funding for these long positions is favorable right now. Now, the last little thing that we want to check on is just the order flow over here. So, as I mentioned earlier, naked time point of control has been cleaned up, and also this was the only value area with single prints that we had on this whole chart if we're discounting the fact that we broke out. Okay, so Monday the 15th of July, we broke out from that consolidation. It did signify a change in trend and a change in momentum. Those are the ones that you don't particularly want to be going back towards. Like I say, if we do go back there, I think we clean up all of this. But from the range that we've been putting in up towards these highs, this is basically all the stuff, all the imbalance that's within the screen here is fine to go back and test, and that just is just general rotation within value here. So the move down, cleaning up the value area low that we had from the little breakout last Friday. You then put in a distribution over the weekend. You're coming back down to test into that. We're just at the same levels as we were last Friday, basically, again. So it's nothing too crazy. The major move up that we saw was an end of the weekend thing, coming back into balance, correcting single prints, correcting the imbalance there. And when we look at this here, then we do have same kind of thing, buying imbalance having been taken out, and therefore we are now seeing a bit of a bounce from this area. So when you're looking at the 4 hour, very, very kind of similar. Let me just draw this on, and overall, we have quite a lot of negative delta in this area. I mean, if this can flip back into support again, then I would start to get a little bit more bullish, and I would think that this is just a sweep and we can be expecting higher. But for now, I think the levels that we do need to reclaim, looks to me to be around about that 64.8 to 65k area. If we just look on here, and that would be clearing back through the single prints and the imbalance that we've created this morning. So there's a bit of a bounce that needs to be done in order to consider this as just being like a deviation, and then we're looking at strength again. Until that point, I think it's just let it settle here, see which direction the market decides to move in next. If there is to be a move back towards those VWAPs, they could be good short opportunities. So session VWAP, weekly VWAP in particular, looking like good short opportunities for today. They have proven to be the case over the past few days, and I would expect that to continue to be the case today. Daily VWAP being, I mean, right where price is now, actually. So that seems to be flipping, and then it would be a move up towards that that weekly VWAP if there is to be a bit of a recovery here. Yeah, nothing more to add. Every time I do one of these things, it is the same levels. It's just waiting for the rotations and which levels are going to get the reactions, essentially. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye. And what do we have? A macro head and shoulder. March 5th trend line to May 20 upslope from. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. March 5 trend line to May 20. To May 20. The what? You're drawing this. Yeah, I know it's to draw the trumpet, but how? This is why, this is why diagonals. This is why diagonals just do not work for me, because how can you draw it when there's this? It's the thing. It's very much like what you see in your own eye. So I don't like it when it's like that. Right, what else is there? Do you think the bull market will end in 2025? Yes. Yes, 100%. And the next bear market is going to be really horrible. Really horrible. I'm fairly certain of that. I think we're going to see some just complete carnage after that. Like, it's just so obvious. Maybe too obvious. Like, think how like bullish everyone is because of Trump right now. But as soon as the bear market hits and people start losing money, like, he is going to come down on crypto like an absolute ton of bricks. He is not bullish on crypto. He is not pro crypto. He's just using it for votes. And the way that people just do not see that is insane. People are like, oh, Trump's going to save crypto. It's going to be the most bullish thing ever. No, you'll get a pump of about 6 months. And when it reaches a natural conclusion, you're going to have stuff that just implodes afterwards. And they are going to come down on it harder than you have ever seen before. And like I did... Yeah, I plan to get out completely by April 2025. I think that's probably a good plan. Honestly, I I don't know. Like, I'm sure there will still be another cycle, but I just see like I don't know because I'm seeing so many red flags with crypto now. So many red flags, and they're red flags that have started before we're even supposed to be going into this last phase of the bull market. So I'm seeing just too many red flags for there to be confidence that there's going to be like another cycle that's as degenerate as what we've also seen before. But yeah, we'll go into that in a little bit more. What else is there? Nice bull market, far below the 2021 highs and still within the 2021 range. Yeah, I mean, but think of where we are within the bull market. If anything, it's far beyond what you would expect it to be at this stage, which is what's caused some of the issues. Okay, so that's just, yeah, like previous time in this cycle, we were still about like how far below previous all-time highs? We were still 50% lower. Yeah, and now we're consolidating at previous all-time highs. Like realistically, price should be like, if you were to ask me where I think price would be as we go into towards Q3, Q4 and of this year, I'd probably be saying like we'd be lucky to see 50k Bitcoin right now. And the fact that we're sat here at 64k is like, that's for where this is. Yeah, it's certainly not bearish. Certainly not. BTC under 30k one day. Yeah, I think so. I think we'll never buy this under 30k again. What do we think? I don't think. Could we see it under 30? It depends how high it goes, doesn't it? It does depend how high it goes. Um, 9,300 guaranteed. Yearly MPOCs always get recovered. Oh, that's not gonna happen. I mean, actually, so when we think about it, 30k, yeah, probably that's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? That's probably a bit of a stretch. That would really damage the network because you're going from a halving. Realistically, I think about 60k is what's profitable for miners right now. So, yeah, we're just like Bitcoin miners are just about break even at the moment because the halving's happened. So, I don't know. Glyph, I got blasted in this recent price action. Is it normal? I mean, yeah. Yeah, we saw the weakness yesterday. And then it did get back to 67k. And then we've seen continuation lower. Yeah, it's relatively normal. The vaguest of vague. So yeah, so yeah, I'm being really vague. I don't like. This is the thing. When we're in the middle of the range like this, it's just like there's no edge really. Like you just flip between being, you have a bullish day, you have a bearish day, you have a couple of bullish days in a row, a couple of bearish days in a row, a couple of green days, a couple of red days. There's nothing that you can like hold on to right now. It's just you got to just see where the market's at day to day, be diligent in taking profits, which is what we have been. I would like to hope. So diligent on taking profits. This goes for a lot of these altcoins that we've been watching, right? ZK came into a take profit level, now is back below where the entry was. All right. So it's like you're getting TP1 and then getting stopped on the rest on some things. ENA, same situation. All right. Yesterday we'd hit that take profit level really, really nicely. All right, what was the chart that we actually had here? Somewhere. All right, but ENA had gone long, hit take profit, and then it's because I'm looking for .p, and now we're back down towards essentially where the entry was again here. Okay, so there's your take profit on this. ZRO, okay. You hit take profit, you extend beyond, and now you're coming back down into where this previous support was. This could actually be a really nice setup on ZRO. We've seen this happen previously, where prices moved up, held as support, continuation. Can this hold as support again? That could be a really interesting one. You've got the range value area high up here as well, so if it's holding outside of that, then you could expect a pretty decent bounce from this. And then you've got stuff that's happened more recently, like Pendle's been a bit of a bitch. So I've got my average that was within this daily gap here. I'm holding it slightly underwater right now, but it's not been invalidated. So it's just one of those situations here where, okay, there are setups, but there's no invalidation. Yeah, there's no invalidation. I had bids that were within this imbalance, so I started buying here. I've continued to buy it through here, and then I've got an average entry that's in the middle. So we'll see where Pendle ends up, but yeah, not getting into an invalidation on that. What else do we have? So yeah, as long as we're not below $3.20. I mean, this could even go below. This could take out these lows. Go below $3. But I think that would be a separate trade. Thing with Pendle, I don't know it. Like, it's just one of those things where it's just a trade. Like, I don't know what the asset is. So I trade the setups. The only things that I'm looking to hold are ZRO, ATH, Doge, maybe ZK. They're the only trades I'd want to hold on to. ENA did its thing. I don't know what ENA is. Had a nice bounce. Took profit. Back towards entry. Maybe goes higher again from here. Yeah. But it's just a ticker that moves. So it's not something I particularly want to hold on to anyway. If I get stopped out on this, groovy. ENA is this cycle's lunar. Does that mean? But it has to pump if it's going to be this cycle's lunar, right? At some point, it has to do something interesting. With improved Ponzinomics. What is Athena? Let's have a look at it. It's crazy, right? This is why I just... Ragdogs, yes. Let's have a look at Tesla. Let me just let's look at Athena, because I always just Athena. Oh god, yeah, it is a lunar, isn't it? Backed by Arthur Hayes. Synthetic dollar and internet native yield. Fair play. %, circulating supply. Outside the top 100. How much of a correction has this had then? So is this reasonable? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I think you could be finding a nice base here on this. There's a little dot there. Right. Yeah, so I did touch upon Tesla at the beginning of this stream. Let's look at stocks, actually. Let's look at some stocks. So there's some really nice moves happening in the stock market. First of all, let's just see if this bounce, how this bounce is getting on the NQ. It's not quite there yet. Yesterday was such a crazy day, man. So we did the trading room yesterday, and it was just like we had this move. So where was it? This was the long. This was the long I took in during the stream. Here, yeah. Took profit on that relatively quickly. It all rolled over. We were expecting lows to be taken. We were expecting this to be taken. And then from this point, like this was the previous week low. It was just, and you had all these little gaps that were forming. So this was the New York Open, and you just like crushed down on the open, and we were like, okay, cool. Maybe this can get a bit of a reversal. And it's just like, no, drop. No, drop. No. At this point, you started to get like catch some long positions. And as soon as these long positions started to get caught, because there was a setup, it was just melting. And it wasn't even like it. So this is just like, you look at those candles, it's just crazy. It was just like the amount of money and the amount of algorithms just being used just to drive price lower until everybody was just at that point just completely wrecked and completely liquidated was crazy. And now finally we see today a bit of volatility picking up, but there was another situation earlier and I saw this happening on Twitter earlier on, where there was a sweep of the previous day lows during the Asia session, and a decent bounce from here, and then there was this consolidation, and you just know people would have been like buying the shit out of this again. You dump it again, and then we're seeing just continuation. It's just an absolute carnage on the NQ for anyone who's trying like any kind of longs here. Now I think this is probably bottomed now. But it's taken a good, like, how many opportunities for this to have bottomed here. But yeah, I am expecting the NQ bounces now, finally. After, like, how many times does it need to sweep lows before it eventually reverses? This one looks like it could be the one because it's happened during the London session. I did take a couple of trades this morning. I did take a short on the NQ just before I got started, because I woke up and I was like, I'm just kind of bearish. So I did take a little short, but maybe I'll go for a long. But yeah, stocks. I think a lot of them coming into just very, very, very interesting areas here. So we look at Tesla for a start. Okay, we'll just go over that again. Now, yes, we did speak on yesterday's stream that if this does come back towards $200, I consider that to be a really good opportunity. We're looking at something very similar to what happened on this initial recovery, where you've had a decent move up. Okay, you've taken some local highs. You're getting a retrace. I would be expecting higher. So yeah, Tesla looks really decent. I'm just going to put this onto log scale and see if there's any kind of stuff that we've seen in the past from Tesla that could show similar structure. Not really. So yeah, Tesla's looking decent. What there is here is a back test of this like big trend that it did essentially break out from. You also have a nice gap here on the chart, this being the only one that is not the breakaway gaps. Okay, so you get the shift in momentum, similar to what we've seen on Bitcoin, okay, where there's a CME gap right down by the lows, and then you create these gaps here, and everything that's created within this trend is fine to correct. And that's what we're seeing so far on Tesla. We have Apple that is having a decent little bit of a move down. Nothing too technical there. Nothing really on Google. What were the other ones that I was showing? Nvidia. Okay. Nvidia extended trading hours we need. Sod it. Let's just put it on this one. There we go. So of course Nvidia did top where you would expect it would top, basically, as it becomes the most valuable company in the world, and all the news headlines are on Nvidia. That is where naturally it did top. I still hold a little bit of Nvidia stock, but not very much. I did sell most of it before it even got anywhere near this stage, but yeah. But coming into an area where I think this could be considered a decent correction, and there can be a relatively decent bounce from this. And then we also have, what was the other one? Microsoft. Yes. So Microsoft just doing what we've seen previously, golden pocket, gap fill, and as long as this can hold, you would be expecting continuation higher once again. So yeah, relatively standard stuff for a correction. It's just happening quite quickly. And I think it's happening quite quickly because there's starting to become more attention on, especially with stocks right now. Stocks have become the hot topic once again, but we're still nowhere near that mania phase. We're still nowhere near the big IPO phase. So because we're just going through the last earnings season before like election time, we're just seeing quite a lot of volatility picking up from stocks and stuff. Intel looks interesting here. Again. This is mad. Mad targets, but I'm expecting the all-time highs on a lot of stuff, so. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this stream up. I've been live for an hour. These aren't the kind of conditions that I like. Yeah, this is not the kind of conditions that I really want to trade. Ethereum. Yeah, okay, Ethereum. Yeah, let's just do a quick one on Ethereum. I thought I covered that. So ETH, we've had the same box on here for ages, right? And 0.05 BTC is the level that I like to bid, right? As long as we're holding it, then it's all good. It's all good. I don't really have too many thoughts. I did take a little bit of a long position on Ethereum a couple of days ago. Again, you got a bit of a bounce from it when the market was looking decent, and it just rolled over and then hit the stop loss afterwards. So this was when it was a couple of days ago now. It was back on here, like when we were, Tuesday. You had a decent bounce, didn't go on to make new highs. You then show a bit of weakness, and then it's just rolls over from that point. So I did get stopped. I was looking at the anchored VWAP as potentially being an area for it to hold, but you've just traded straight through it, so nothing to say about that. Golden pocket gets a little bit too low for my liking. You'd want to see a close back above. Are there moving averages here? Are we back towards those moving averages? In fact, you kind of want to close the day green on ETH. Otherwise, it does look like weakness. It looks like another failed attempt to hold the EMAs, which wouldn't be ideal. And then you would expect some lower prices. I mean, I think it's highly unlikely that we're going to close green on the day for Ethereum. If it does close green on the day for Ethereum, then just assume this has just been another massive shakeout and it's just going to start melting up again. It is only the 100 that, so where's the 200 at? We're at the 200. Okay, fine. Fine. Yeah, it's neutral. You look on one thing and you're like, okay, that's weakness. I think it has a very good opportunity to bounce. For me personally, I don't particularly want to get more involved than I am with any leverage here. Like I like to trade the momentum plays. And we had some really good momentum plays earlier in the week. And now we've seen some weakness. I don't know. There's a temptation. To scale in, but that's quite a far invalidation. Momentum has been lost. It's just a case of, I rather trade momentum. So whilst we have momentum, I'm happy to trade it. We don't have momentum right now in either direction, right? There's no momentum in either direction. It's just back to being just whatever. And we just wait it out. Luke, smack an anchor VWAP on from the all-time high on ETH BTC and add a macro 618 retrace from the current macro low. Do you think this is the pain trade that everyone is neglecting? Okay, let's have a look. I like it. Now, let's go on the higher time frames and just look for this. See, we were aware. I like it. I like it. But would it change anything for me if there was to be a move down here? Probably not. Weekly. Really interesting if it happens. So that takes us down to around about 0.437, 0.44. Where if you're looking at scaling around about that 0.5, 0.44 is not that far away. You are, of course, expecting this to go back towards about 0.1. Yeah, it's an interesting one, for sure. I like it. I like it. And it still is trending down, isn't it? Like, you go highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs. This hasn't broken the high which took the low. So you are like ETH BTC is still downtrending, but 0.05 Bitcoin per ETH is just where I look to rotate into it. But yeah, maybe there's another capitulation on the way for that. We'll see. If that was to happen, then I think that gives a better setup because, of course, with Ethereum, how it was from the bounce that we've seen more recently, you never really got that big deviation or big capitulation on Ethereum. That didn't happen. You just sweep the lows and then got an immediate bounce. It was Bitcoin that had the big capitulation. Ethereum never really did it. So Ethereum just underperforms in both directions at the moment. If Bitcoin's moving up, Ethereum's staying a bit more stable, is not moving up as much. If Bitcoin's moving down, Ethereum's not moving down as much. And, or at least until recently. So could this be the chance where maybe you get that deeper deviation that fills this gap down towards around about 2,600 before a bigger recovery there? It's something to be aware of. Okay? There has been a loss of momentum. It's not looking like it's bearish at this stage, but it's something to be aware of that it is another sign of weakness. We did see an initial sign of strength, but the market is just flipping back and forth. There's not really any side that's in control. Which is why I repeat, be prepared for like literally anything to happen because there is no edge right now. You can be confident the prices are going to go high. You can be confident that the bull market is over. There's not really an edge at all, at least for myself. So just take each day as it comes, trade what's in front of you, react to what is given, be diligent in taking profits, be diligent in getting stopped. Okay, if something gets invalidated, take the loss. It's fine to take the losses. I'm not winning all of my trades right now. I'm taking some losses as well. It's absolutely fine. I took a loss on Ethereum. I may end up taking a loss on Pendle. But you even those out with some nice wins along the way when there is some momentum plays that can be had. Some of these. And just, yeah, like it's, you got to be a bit reactive. If BTC shoots up, BTC may very well get down to that 0.43 area. Yes, it may. That would be preferable, wouldn't it? It would be preferable if it gets down there with a Bitcoin move up rather than everything dumping again. There is a scenario where Bitcoin could drop to 62K, hold a higher low, and that could be enough to drop Ethereum lower if there is to be a big shakeout on Ethereum. Because that is... Oh, actually, that's a long way away. That's 15%. No, there is a scenario where that can play out. Because, all right, look at Bitcoin. So for Bitcoin to get down to here, that's another 5% away. All right, 5% lower on Bitcoin. If ETH BTC continues this weakness and goes down towards that 0.44, that's another 10% away. And then for Ethereum to have a deviation below these lows, that's 15% away. So you take the 5% down from Bitcoin, you take the 10% down from ETH BTC, that ends up in 15% down for ETH USD. It's not out of the question that you could get a lower low here on Ethereum, but Bitcoin managing to hold. Again, something to be aware of. Like I say, there's not really an edge. Be prepared for any and all situations. Be diligent on taking profit. If you get invalidated, take the loss. Don't allow yourself to be holding like with a drawdown. Just doesn't make sense. Like by that I mean if you've got an invalidation, let's say, let's find one. I mean, there's not really anything that's being invalidated. But let's just throw on a random chart. Like, okay, look, let's say you'd gone long Audi here and you're expecting it to continue to make a higher low and get continuation. Just don't hold drawdown that's below where a reasonable stop would be. Because for all you know, things can melt down again. We're not completely out of the woods yet. This is what I mean. There was momentum. It's now gone. That momentum's gone. So we're now not sure whether we have seen just a dead cat bounce and we're going to be making new lows on a lot of stuff, or whether we're now looking for those macro higher lows to form. Time will tell. You flip it back up here again. All right. Happy days. Continuation. You just got to wait for that. So a lot of stuff still doing what we were spoken about previously. But it could go in either direction right now. Wait for strength or sit it out and take it easy. Who was saying Pepe? See, Pepe's still just banging up against resistance here. I'd like to see a drop on Pepe. Do you advise to only scalp? What time frame? I mean, I'm not scalping crypto either. I'll scalp the NASDAQ. I'm not trading crypto right now unless it's like 4-hour time frame, and unless the conditions are favorable. So for the last couple of weeks, they've been very, very nice. Today, not really. But yeah, I kind of just, I'm sticking to the 4-hour. Like I'm not, it's kind of crazy. I hate it because I'm streaming and I'm doing crypto, but I'm not that interested in crypto right now. I think we're really bullish again. I think things become more interesting again. And I am very bullish, but I am still bored of it. And I'm just waiting it out. It's really boring. Yeah, I'm a glory hunter, right? It's more fun when things are just going up and there's stuff to talk about. What do you think about Sui? I don't know. Like, it's just another layer 2, layer 1 thingy, technicals. Like, what is this? Inverse the charts, yeah. Tier took a nice hit. Have a look at that in a minute. Sui's doing the same thing, right? You have the like poopy pattern. Bum cheek does a poo. Bum cheek. Poopy pattern. Has every opportunity of making another high hit. Now, if I was looking to bid, I like it there. All right. I like it there. once you sweep some lows. Just cannot get acceptance back in these lower ranges. Can't happen. Cannot happen. But dipping into it's fine. It's all A-okay. Or you simply just wait for a bit of strength again. But yeah, I have no... I bought Sui last year at some point when I saw it on a Formula One car when they had a sponsorship. So it was at the start of the last Formula One season, which actually managed to be a really nice buy. And I was like, oh, that's a crypto. That looks like a crypto. I'm going to buy it because clearly they got some money. And yeah, worked out okay. But that's like the only thing that I've ever done with Sui. I didn't really hold it for very long either. Sai. Why is it every time anyone talks about Sui, then this gets looked at as well? It's like the same chart, isn't it? You have a bit more strength from Sai. Luke, did you buy Gummy? No. I don't think anyone in their right mind would buy Gummy. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm good. Right. Okay. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to wrap it up there. And I'll be back again tomorrow. See you.